It's 2024 and email newsletters are still the most valuable marketing channel that you can make for your business. Why is email so valuable? It's because it can't be taken away from you and you have a direct line of communication with your audience. A month ago, I decided to start growing my email newsletter from Twitter. In 30 days, I grew to 1,000 subs. I'm Cody Schneider. I have 15 plus years of digital marketing experience, and I'm going to show you how to do this for your newsletter right now. So to grow your email newsletter, you need to do three things in parallel together. So first is you need to post regularly. I'm going to show you my whole process of how I write 70 tweets a week and schedule them out. You're then going to have a call to action to join your newsletter after every tweet. So you make this as a thread. And then the other component of this is DMing every new follower to join your newsletter. I'm using Beehive to do this just for the test. It was just easy to spin up. What I'm doing is I'm sending them directly to the subscribe. So only thing they can do is subscribe to the newsletter. So how I write tweets, let's lay this out. So every week I try to write about 70 tweets. So where these tweets come from, I do things that I think are cool. I talk about them in public. I then look at the data and I look at what are the best performing tweets and I remix those over and over again. So what I've actually done is I've gone to Twitter Analytics and I've exported all of my tweet data. So for example, I'd go and I'd export all of April as a CSV. And then I create a spreadsheet with all of my top performing tweets and I filter by the total impressions. These are all tweets that I ever have written and they're ranked now by which ones are the most effective at getting reach. So all I'm optimizing for here is reach within my niche. So I talk about startup ideas and growth tactics. Everything that I'm going to talk about in the tweets is just that laid out. Once I've got this, I then go and I write these tweets. I sit down, schedule out about an hour is how long it takes, and I just write them out. So for all of these tweets, I'm using Assembly to schedule these out. Assembly is my friend's company. There's a link to the app within the description of this video. So within Assembly, you can create a new post. Once you've created that new post, there's this auto engagement feature. So after 5 minutes, it's automatically going to add a post comment to the post with the call to action to sign up for the newsletter. So I'm writing these tweets, I'm posting them. I can just duplicate that post. It's going to push it to the next hour. And what you're going to see is that automation, that call to action to join will be on that new post. So I'm on that new post that I just duplicated, go over to that auto engagement. You can see that there. Test different call to actions. But what this does is on every tweet, it adds this call to action. Why I don't make this a thread is because I found it gets less reach when you post it at the same time. So when you post it as a thread, by doing it with a delay, that's how you can get more reach on the original tweet and then still have that call to action, which creates the signups for the newsletter. All right, so the next thing that I'm doing is I'm using a tool to automate reaching out to people that have followed me and asking them to sub to the newsletter. So I'm using a tool called Phantom Buster. So there's two different phantoms that I'm using simultaneously. I'm going to go to Twitter and I'll show you the ones that I'm using. So I'm collecting the Twitter followers. So what I do is I look at Twitter, I look at all the people that have followed me in the last week, etc., and I export those out. And then I have a spreadsheet that I built that is basically my source information for which accounts I've already messaged and which ones I haven't. So I then use the Twitter message sender to automate the actual sending out. And the structure of that is pretty straightforward. Let me show you what it is. So I'm going to go over to that Phantom and I'm going to do Twitter message sender. And just to outline the setup. So this is automatically running in the background. What it's doing is it's taking the results from the Twitter collector and it's sending DMs to them. And that's my whole process. That's how you can grow newsletters super quickly. This is all going to start compounding. And what it allows for you to do is, again, build this own channel that can never be taken away from you. And then it's just your job to, on a weekly basis, write content that you find interesting. I just basically do a recap of everything that happened in the last week with each of the newsletters, all the things I learned, the things I saw that I thought were cool, etc. But this is how you can make a growth flywheel to grow your newsletter relatively on autopilot. Again, the majority of my time is spent generating content ideas. So again, sitting down and writing these tweets, but because I already have this back catalog and I'm doing things I find interesting and I know other people will find interesting, that process is super quick. And then these other pieces that are actually the call to actions to get people to sign up to the newsletter, those are entirely automated. If you have any questions or like me to go deeper, comment below, subscribe to this channel if you want more videos like this. Cheers.